sports arena. And of course, Mondays, Sembe Shima is always here to bring you the latest in the world of sports, whatever happened over the weekend. Sembe, good morning. Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you and happy to have you back. Hope you rested well.
Yes, I did.
Okay, it's good to have you back. Stronger, better, and looking more younger.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
All right. Good morning and welcome to Kakaki Sports. A beautiful Monday morning and Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim faithfuls. This morning, we'll not be focusing on football alone. We'll also be looking at tennis because history was made yesterday in the world of tennis. But I'm not here alone. I've been joined by someone I like to call my very good friend and the latest father in town, talking about Roland Numufa. Roland Numufa will be joining me shortly after now. Yes, that is what happened in tennis yesterday, talking about the win for the 19-year-old against Novak Djokovic, a legend of tennis in Miami right there, Mensik Jakob. He got that one against a legend himself. That's talking about Novak Djokovic. And, of course, Ariana Sablanka edged that one on Saturday against an American, Jessica Pegula. So Roland is right here, and he'll be joining me quickly to discuss on all that is going on in the world of tennis. Roland, good morning and welcome to Kakaki Sports.
Yeah, good morning, Sembe Shima. You said latest father. At least there are some persons in the newsroom that I became a father before,
yeah,
so they are the latest father. So,
yeah,
of course, it's good to be here to talk about everything happening in the world of sports.
All right, quickly, let's get right into it. I mean, one of your favorites, we're hoping he will get his 100th career title last night, but sadly, that was not the case for Novak Djokovic, and the 19-year-old beat him to that title, talking about the Miami Open. Your thoughts on the result? And of course, let's start with women first. So Ariana Sablanka, she got hers on Saturday against an American, talking about Jessica Pegula.
Yeah, of course, Ariana Sablanka in the last few years, she has actually proven to be the best WTA player. Of course, a lot of persons will question that because you have a certain Iga Swiatek, but time and time again, the Belarusian has proven her mettle, and she continues showing what she's made of. Of course, winning this tournament is over 1.2 million US dollars, so that's a lot of money into her bank account. I'm talking about the Belarusian. Yeah, and of course, that's the Masters title in Miami, in the United States of America, which was a dominant performance from her since from the get-go until the final against Jessica Pegula, who is also a good friend of her, and also Jessica Pegula has also been in great shape. I think she, alongside Coco Gauff, they are the highest ranked American women tennis players, but it was to be for the Belarusian who took in another title. And also you're looking at the young guy that's talking about Mensik,
yes,
who was up against, okay, we still have Ariana Sabalenka on the screen. So talking about Mensik, the 19-year-old who is from Czech Republic, he also had a great Australia Open early this year. Of course, Djokovic also won this tournament far back in 2007 when Djokovic was still cutting his teeth in the world of tennis. He ended up playing against the likes of Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, where he formed great rivalry. And of course, for Mensik, it was a massive one. That match lasted 2 hours and 5 minutes thereabout. Of course, the match would have gone on yesterday, Nigerian time, by 8 p.m. I was looking forward to the game, but I was meant to understand that it was raining in Miami, so the match couldn't actually go on. And most times these things do tell on players momentum. Your momentum is going down. I'm not holding forth for Djokovic, but of course we also know that age is also telling.
Yes,
but for the young guy, you must give him kudos for actually winning that first massive, because that's a very massive tournament. He just won in the United States of America early this morning.
All right, indeed. Congratulations right there to Jakob Sinner and, of course, Novak,
Mensik.
Mensik, and then talking about Ariana Sablanka in the Miami Open right there. But now let's move away from tennis now to football. I mean, the FA Cup went down yesterday. Now we know the semi-finalists. It's one of the biggest and oldest tournaments in the English football. Nottingham Forest up against Man City. Man City also, got that ticket to the semi-finals yesterday. And Crystal Palace will be up against Aston Villa in the semi-finals. These are the semi-finalists for the FA Cup this year. Your thoughts on this clash, and then what are we expecting in this turnout of events, especially with Man City, who have not been in form in terms of, crashing out of the Champions League and all that. They're not really been in shape. But now Nottingham Forest coming for the title as well.
Well, yesterday's semi-final, it was City up against Bournemouth. Of course, for City, in the first half, as early as in the 20th minute, they could have even gotten 3 goals. You saw Eli Haaland missing a sitter, not forgetting about the penalty. He also missed, or should I say it was saved by Kepa Arrizabalaga, that implies his trade with Bournemouth. And of course, Bournemouth took the lead, and you expected City. Pep Guardiola made some changes, and second half they came out all flying, and they were able to win that one by 2 goals to 1 to progress to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Remember, last season they were losing finalists to Manchester United, and this season they believe they can go all the way, even though they've had some rough patches this season. In the Premier League, you know, they've won it 4 times in a row. So this season, it looks like they've gone to Liverpool. They're not, also in the Champions League. In the Champions League, they lost out to Real Madrid. So this looks like the only trophy that they can win or they win. And of course, it's going to be a tough one for them. You're looking at Nottingham Forest that has been superb this season. You must give it to them. The likes of Elanga, Chris Wu scoring a lot of goals. Olaina, of course, playing good football. You must give Nuno Espirito de Santos, former Wolverhampton and sports manager, and kudos for the great job he's doing. Then also you look at Crystal Palace on Saturday. They went away far away, Craven Cottage, and they defeated Fulham by 3 goals to 0. And I was telling myself, Fulham, why did you win Manchester United penalty shooter when you know you were going to lose woefully at home? Why not allow Manchester United, you know, and all that. So, but for Palace, they were dominant that day. You must give it to them. And also Aston Villa yesterday against Preston North End. They were up against a team coached by Peter Hickenbottom, and for them, Marcus Rashford actually scoring a brace yesterday. And you want to believe Aston Villa, they are doing very well this season. They're also in the Champions League latter stages. The FA Cup is there, and you also believe they will qualify for the UEFA Champions League as the season then progresses. So, interesting matchup in the FA Cup semi-finals.
Indeed, interesting matches right there. We'll see in the FA Cup coming weeks. Perhaps who will be taking that trophy? Will it be Manchester City's Pep Guardiola, or perhaps Nottingham Forest, who have actually been informed this season for the English Premier League? But now let's move away to actions that went down in other leagues across the world. I told you earlier that the international break is done and dusted, and leagues have resumed action back to how it's supposed to be. And actions went down, of course, in the Serie A and in the La Liga as well. Let's take a look at the table in the Serie A right now. Yes, Serie A, of course, match day 29 right there, match 29 in the Serie A season. This is some of the games that went down. Your thoughts on the results?
Yeah, I think the biggest matches that they had to be Napoli against AC Milan. They haven't looked at Inter Milan winning by 2 goals to 1 against Udinese. And for Napoli, they actually do, in course of the week, they lost a 14-year-old boy, 14-year-old kid. My heart goes out to the family. Of course, tribute was paid to him before the game actually started. You saw the likes of Politano, the rest of the team. And for Napoli, they were 2 goals up very early in the game, and you were believing what's happening to AC Milan. AC Milan struggling this season. For Napoli, they know they needed to close the gap on league leaders, Inter Milan. I haven't also looked at the game between Atlanta and Fiorentina, and for Atlanta falling by the wayside. Sometimes you believe Atlanta in the title race, other times you think it's a 2-horse race.
I was going into that, looking at the table. We don't have the table right now,
the point gap between them and Napoli is, I think, it's about 4. The point gap between Atlanta and Napoli is about 4 points there about. Then of course Inter Milan 10 points there about. So you were thinking, okay, they will pick up, but that's not the case. I think at the end of the day, they will just qualify for the UEFA Champions League. It looks like it's going to be a 2-horse race between Inter Milan and Napoli. And if I'm a betting man, I think my money will be on Inter Milan, because they have the experience, they have the players that have gone through this stage. Of course, Napoli, some players that won the league are still there with them. The likes of Lorenzo Politano, and of course their goalkeeper. Why Manguisa, also a lot of players have left. The likes of Victor Osimhen, they are no longer there. But it was a big win for Napoli against AC Milan last night. Then for Juventus also picking 1-0 against Genoa, knowing fully well that Juventus have been the team that has the highest draw. I think in Europe top league this season. They've had so many draws this season.
But now, is it looking like Inter Milan has run away with the title already, as in from the standing on the table? No. I mean, Atalanta is almost gone. They are in 3rd place on the standing. standing. Yeah, we'll have also Napoli coming back-to-back with Inter Milan. But do you think Inter Milan has this one? Because most people are saying they'll also take the Champions League.
Yeah, the point gap, then, to be honest, I think is very close between them and Napoli. So that one, just like the Spanish La Liga, where you see Barcelona and Madrid so close, I think Napoli, they will give Inter Milan a run for their money. Some of us might have this sentiment because of how Napoli treated Victor Osimhen, so we don't want to wish them well. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm one of those persons that also don't want Napoli to win the Serie A title because of how they treated the former African Footballer of the Year. But for Inter Milan, I think they are a solid team. I just think they will grind that result at the end of the day. They will end up winning their another Italian Serie A so that they can have their third star. You know, they just had the second star on their badge, so they are looking forward to adding a third star if they win the league this season.
All right, let's quickly now take a look at the Serie A, in La Liga rather as well. Matches also went down in match day 29 in the La Liga. Yes, it is quite intense right here because, like Roland said, Real Madrid and Barcelona going toe-to-toe, just 3 points apiece on the table. And then it's looking quite intense going into almost the last part of the league.
Yeah, La Liga is very interesting this season. Unlike the English Premier League, that one team has already carried the league.
And
for La Liga, it is becoming more competitive. If you look at the likes of Athletic Club, if they had won yesterday, they would have been, I think, almost the same point with Atletico Madrid, but they ended up firing black against Osasuna. Why for Barcelona, they were too good. I think they are 18 matches unbeaten. I know a certain Otibe Omorin will be very excited about his team and how they've been doing so well this season. You must give it to Hansi Flick and his men, how they've performed this season, despite all what they went through. They couldn't sign players, they couldn't pay salaries and all that. They are building a new Spotify Camp Nou stadium, and they are still grinding out results on the pitch of play against an impressive Girona that was very good last season. In fact, in course of the game, when Girona equalized, you were not scaring the walls that, oh, Barcelona might end up dropping points, but no, Lewandowski firing 2 goals there for them. It was a big win for Barcelona. Having waited in the previous day to see their rivals, their greatest rival, Real Madrid, actually win Leganes by 3-2. It was also a scare for Real Madrid. The French forward, that's talking about Kylian Mbappe, doing a lot of job for them there. So the Pichichi, that's talking about the goal race, is between a certain Lewandowski and, of course, Karim Benzema, who is going to be the highest goal scorer why do I keep calling Karim Benzema and Kylian Mbappe? So I think it's going to be an interesting one for both teams this season. Real Madrid, Barcelona. I'm just thinking the decider might be that Clasico when Barcelona will be playing at home against Real Madrid. That's when I feel the team that will win the league will shortly be seen by a lot of persons.
All right, so talking about this game, Real Betis and Sevilla. That game was quite interesting. It was the last game.
Yeah, that was a Betis. That was a Sevilla derby.
And then Anthony for Manchester United. I mean, I know you people threw him away, and now he's so informed.
You didn't have to mention Manchester United. Just go ahead and mention Anthony, the Brazilian that plays for Betis.
Anthony's performance.
Kudos to him. We want to see footballers succeed. If you try here, it doesn't work. You can always try other places. So you went to Manchester United, a way bigger club, so probably the expectation and all that, you couldn't meet up and all that. So and good for him. Good that he's playing very well for Real Betis. But in the last 2 matches, his national team has still not called him up. That's talking about the Brazilian national team. But hopefully, if he keeps on this form and all that, he might just. I saw Ojuke also playing yesterday for Sevilla. This was a derby match here, and you were thinking Sevilla might just get up something. They were leading, and Betis coming from a goal down to actually win by 2-1. Fantastic performance from Pellegrini's men.
All right, indeed. Thank you so much, Roland, for joining us on the show this morning. We do appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, I do have a great, enjoy the Salah break.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, and that's our package on Kakaki's